Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It sounded like Fozzie Bear. Waka, waka, waka. Nothing but the best for you all. So, welcome to the next show will be better. It's the Hickson Diaries live stream podcast.
Looks good, smells good, tip.
Looks good, smells good. It's the next show will be better. It's Hickson Diaries live show podcast. I'm so good at this. We have a pretty good show planned for you all today. We're gonna talk about my 30 days of dressing pictures, which it did its job, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to bumming around in some relaxing, comfortable clothes. We're going to talk about an interesting moment that I had at breakfast over the weekend with my family. And also your questions from some video comments and anything that you guys put in the chat. So if you do have any questions, comments, queries, concerns, or super chats, make sure you put them in there. And start sending them in now, and I'll answer them throughout the show, of course. That's how it goes here in the Hickson Diaries. Let's see. First, though, if you could please just like the stream so the YouTube guys know we're the new YouTube gods know we're here. Anyway, yeah, so like the stream for me so YouTube knows what's going on. And if you could share it as well with someone that you think might be interested or might not have gotten the notification, that would be awesome. Make sure you hit that bell if you haven't already so you do get any notifications. That'd be really, really great. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. But before we get started, we have to give a shout out to who's here because you all know the show only gets better when you're there. And my apologies once again, the comments aren't working on my software and I am annoyed as hell about this. But it is what it is. And also my apologies for not doing the pre-show today. I was a little behind schedule. But Diane gets the gold star for being the first one here. Hello, Diane. Disco's here as well. Thank you so much for being here, Disco. Richard Wilmot is here as well. Thank you for being here, Richard. Diane says, I looked after my grandson, so I'm tired. Yeah, they do that, don't they? I'm a bit tired myself. That's just because I was kept up a lot of the night. I didn't sleep very well. So bear with how I look tonight. I didn't get to freshen up my makeup or anything either. Richard says, it was warm here and I took my jumper off today. Really? I mean, it was sort of warm in the afternoon, but I usually go outside in the mornings. Maybe I got to change that up a bit. Diane said I had short sleeves. Yeah, I got to start changing it up and do afternoon walks instead. Disco says, my eldest son is at Wembley watching England versus Japan, so me and the youngest went and had an Indian meal. Nice. It's nothing like a England game at Wembley. Richard said Indian food made by an Indian mom is the best. It's always better when it's homemade. Like it just is. No matter what kind of food it is, it's always better when it's homemade. Is there an issue? You guys having an issue? My playback isn't playing. Richard says, unless you have thirds, they think you're starving yourself. Yeah. Still no swimsuit. No, not woman in a first swimsuit, Richard. Definitely not. Look for the poem Spring in the Bronx. Okay. Spring in the Bronx from Poetry Nook. Come on. Wait, is it that small? So it says, spring has sprung, the grass is riz. I wonder where them bodies is. The little boys is on the wing, but that's absurd. The little wing is on the bide. I don't know what the hell this is. Is that the poem that you're talking about? Spring has sprung, the grass is riz. I wonder where the bodies is. The boyd is on the wing, but that's absurd. From what I heard, the wing is on the boyd. It's quite yeah, that's quite the accent. I must say, can't really do accents very well, so bear with me. A little poetry to kick off the night. Richard dared me to read it out. Well, I should have probably held out for a super chat or something, but here you go. My picture's frozen. Yeah, I was looking at my playback and it's not playing back properly. Am I still frozen? No. Okay, am I back? Looks like I'm back. Give me a thumbs up if I'm back, y'all. Disco doesn't see any pictures. Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay. Ewan Vanette is here. Hello, Ewan. Thank you for being here. Ewan says, Easter weekend is a major holiday in the UK. Good Friday is a holiday, and so is Easter Monday. Yes, you are right. It is a long weekend. It's the only 4-day weekend y'all have, right? I'm trying to think. The only 4-day weekend we have is Thanksgiving that I can remember in the US. I think that's it. Cool. Thanks for that, Disco. Hello, Marja. How are you? Marja says, evening, Mandy. You're wonderful as well as the fantastic group. Thank you. So glad to have you here. Richard said we could do Summer in a Cumin in a song from 1265 in Middle English. I don't know about that one, Richard. Middle English? I can barely speak British English. So I did that challenge for myself, right? That 30-day challenge where I was going to get up and get dressed every day. Because I was kind of falling into a funk where I was getting super lazy. And I was just wearing like workout clothes and stuff all day. And I wasn't I was just falling into this trap where I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to really do anything. And I wasn't being productive at all. I was just doing what I had to do to get by instead of actually trying to build something. And I needed to get myself out of that. So I challenged myself for 30 days that I would get up, I would make sure I, took a shower, I would make sure I did my makeup, I would make sure I do something with my hair, and I would get dressed, even if it's just jeans and a top, that I would get dressed every day. And I did it for 30 days. And so take that to all of you who said I wouldn't last 15. I remember y'all. I thought I'd forget. I didn't forget. Yeah, so I did do it for 30 days, and I'm glad I did because I did get into a better routine and a better habit. But I could use a day of just like wearing comfortable clothes. Not that my clothes aren't comfortable, but not having to wear makeup. I think that's the biggest thing. I like to have at least one day a week where I don't have to wear makeup. I mean, I could go without makeup, but it is kind of scary. A lot of people think that I am either ill or extremely tired because I get really bad dark circles under my eyes, and that there's just natural. So if I don't put some makeup on it, it looks really, really awful. So usually, like, if I'm gonna start putting makeup on, I might as well just put I don't wear lots of makeup anyway, so I might as well just finish the job. But anyway, since I've been home, since I've been working from home, I've gotten a little bit lazy, and I did just needed to get out of that because if I start getting too lazy, then I'm gonna start getting lazy about the work, and I'm gonna start getting lazy about everything else, and then that's when all kinds of depression and crap like that kick in, right? So I'm glad I did it, but I'm also really glad it's over. I was just kind of in the mindset where I don't need to be presentable. I'm not going out of the house, so it doesn't matter. But it's also like I need to do it for myself, and it's not really fair to my family to be so lazy. And I was getting aggravated with like having to do laundry and stuff. But since I've been doing it, I've gotten more motivated with I've been like scrubbing the bathroom and I got some painting I want to do and stuff. So it's actually done, it's got me so far out of the funk that I'm actually taking on other projects and stuff. So maybe a little overwhelming myself a bit as I tend to do. But it was definitely worth it because it got a new habit started. So I feel much better. I feel more productive and more alive, if you will. Like I'm actually involved in life. It's always good. Richard says, as part of working, I dress for work at home. Disco never doubted me. Thank you. And you don't wear much makeup either? Neither does Richard. Hey, to each their own, whatever. Marja says it was lazy yesterday doing nothing. Yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be a lazier day for me. I do have some things to do behind the scenes, but overall, I've taken care of all of my important things yesterday and today. So Richard says, I do shave. I have been through a beardy phase. Yeah. See, I think it's a little bit, I was going to say, I think it's a little different for men, but I don't know that it really is. I think women just have a lot more like societal pressures, and we put a lot of pressures on ourselves, especially as we get older. But I don't know. I dyed my hair finally. So the gray's out. Anyway. Oh, I do have an announcement to make. Yeah, okay. I do have an announcement to make. Just a quick thing. I got some press. The Hickson Diaries got some press, I should say. Apparently the British press picked me up for a couple articles in the Daily Mirror, which I did not have on my 2026 bingo card. It's kind of a weird story about how I found out as well. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in a video that is going to be dropping tomorrow. But yeah, it's strange. It's really strange. But anyway, speaking of that, there is going to be a slight schedule change for you all. So instead of doing, as you all know, I spent some time with the Tutor Yank, right? Last week. And we had a really long conversation about my experience growing up in New Jersey and living near Philadelphia, and Misty's experience, growing up in Kentucky and living in Los Angeles, and now both of us live here. So it was a really long conversation. So we are going to split it between our two channels. So the first part drops on Tutor Yank's channel on Friday, And then the second one, part 2, will drop on Hickson Diaries on Sunday. And because of the collab and the fact that it's dropping, the first part's going to drop on her channel on Friday, I'm not going to do a Thursday upload because I don't want to take anything away from the collab. So I did that mini video that's going to drop tomorrow about the press. And then it won't be anything again until Friday, when we do our Mind the Culture Gap podcast. But on, I'm not sure when I'm going to drop it, but I also have some behind the scenes stuff that we shot. That's going to be members only as well. So we're going to do the members only podcast, Mind the Culture Gap. There's going to be members only behind the scenes or not seen, not included footage with the Tutor Yank collab. And then the parts are going to drop for Tutor Yank on Friday on her channel and then Sunday on our channel. I just want to make sure that you guys are cool with that. You understand that. So again, Mind the Culture Gap will still be on regular schedule on Friday afternoon. What a great show we have planned for this week. So I hope you guys can join. If you're members, if you're not a member, definitely consider becoming a member because the Mandyverse is pretty freaking cool. So Mandyverse Collective is our membership program. We have a good time. We react to stuff, British culture and other American expats and some stuff that happens in America, as well as just have really good chats about life and, starting over in the second half of our lives and what's what to look forward to now or what we have to deal with now, I guess, as well. So drop, hit that join button if you're watching on the replay, or make sure that you should have this ready. Make sure you scan this QR code if you, I just deleted it. All right, well, you know what? Hit the join button. I deleted it by accident. I am not doing well today, guys. Anyway, you can become a member. That'd be great. And we'll take you in any capacity we can get you, though. We love you all. And regular schedule programming will obviously commence the week following week. So, all right, let's see. See if you all have any questions. Make sure you send in any of your questions if you want, if you have anything specific you want me to answer or respond to. Marcia says I need extra strong scissors these days. I don't need to worry about that, but my hair gets gotten thinner as I've gotten older. I had really, really thick hair when I was young. Ewan says, I think in the USA there is no law that requires employers to give workers paid holiday. You are correct. There's no national law. Some states have some laws, but they're usually involved with like disabilities, for example, maternity leave or something like that. But yeah, there's no national law in the United States that requires employers to give their employees any time off. It is typically at the company's discretion. And I know people who work like a whole year before they get a day off paid. Like they'll get weekends, but that's it. You are correct, and that is crap. Richard said, my beard is now all white and it adds 10 years to me. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Misty and we had a great conversation, and shout out to Misty from the Tutor Yank because she did a lot of the behind the scenes work on this, and she did a great job. So make sure you guys show her some love on her channel. Marja says that white is more glorious than gray, Richard. Like Gandalf. I don't know if I'd go that far, Marcia, but I appreciate it. I don't know. I mean, I suppose it depends on the person, right? Like some people can pull off like the bald look and some people just can't. So I do think it depends on your features and everything. Disco, thank you so much for the generous super chat. I appreciate it. So this weekend is Good Friday and Easter. Do you think it's not worth uploading the collab, guys? Give me some feedback. Maybe we should wait. Do you think, or do you think it's a good weekend because people will be hanging out? Disco says abracadabra and it's gone. I wish it was that easy. Diane says the press attention and collab are wonderful news. I'm pleased for you. Thank you so much. It's all because of you guys, really. I mean, you guys getting the word out and all that. That's why. That's the only reason that this is still going. Maybe not the only reason. I do have a little bit of work in there, but. Richard said, my beard grew out when I was in hospital, and it looked like the elder Stepty. I don't know who Steptoe. I don't know who that is either. Sorry. Marcia said there's no point in talking about the orange one. Yeah. The son died before Steptoe. The hell are you guys talking about? Who's Steptoe? Diane's asking what Misty channel's called. The Tudor Yank. Let me see. Let me just pull it up real quick. So you guys can get a visual. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. The Tudor Yank. She's awesome. She does great work. Really, really fun. Really, really fun conversation to have as well. Definitely check her out. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Richard says, I could grow a beard better than my brother. That's the other thing, is some people can like look good with beards and grow them real nice and full, or keep them real close to the face, or they're shorter. Some people just can't pull off beards. I'm just like, I know people that their beard doesn't like fully grow in, but they grow it anyway. And I'm like, it looks dumb. You should actually shave or just do goatee or something. And that's the other, like, people can pull off just mustache. Everybody's different. I think it really does depend on your facial features and all that kind of stuff. I think it does have a lot to do with it. Ewan asks, what type of music do I like? That's a good question. I like lots of music, to be honest with you. My favorite is like old school 70s rock and disco. I think it might be why disco and I get along so well. But I like that. I like R&B. I like just about anything except country. And even that has a caveat, to be honest with you, because I do like some country, but it's very specific songs and or artists. That's it. I can't just listen to country music, but I do like a few of the country songs because I think they're fun. But other than that, I'm not a huge country fan, but I like ska, I like classical, I like show tunes. I like anything you can dance to. I like pop music. Anything I can sing and dance to, I'm good. Steptoe and Son is an old TV program. Oh wait, I think that's the one we had. We had a different version of it, I think, in America. Now it sounds familiar. Good Friday is an odd day. I don't know why. I mean, it's an odd day for me because I worked in one company that you got Good Friday off. And now it's because it was a private company. It was owned by a family that was Jewish, and they gave us all the Jewish holidays off. So they had to give us all the Christian holidays and Muslim holidays off as well, by law. So that's the only time I ever had Good Friday off in America. Marja says, absolutely, Richard, it's a strange time. Why? Tell me why. Give me the tea. I'm not sure where Misty lives in London either. Richard said, I start shaving daily at 11. Why, did you just wake up at 11? Sound like me. It's not the worst thing in the world to be able to sleep in the morning. I'm just saying. Some people are better at night. They're night owls. Hello, Glenn. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Disco King says, yeah, having a mustache is okay unless you have a big nose and then underlying. Sometimes it can detract from the nose. I've seen people that have big nose that can pull off a mustache. Again, I think it's just it's the style, it's the shape of your nose, it's everything. Donnie says, I've written down Misty's channel name. That's what works for you. Marcia says, Bananarama Mandy. Bananarama Mandy, that's funny. So I'm gonna go through some questions that were asked in the comment section of some of the videos as well, just to have some conversations about some of the things that we've put out there lately. And definitely keep setting up in your questions and comments and everything, guys, as we go. Bodice Botticelli, reject Botticelli. Okay. Is replying to a short about me and my British weather. It's me dealing with the British weather. It says, British weather is exciting. I couldn't live somewhere where you knew what the weather was going to be like for months ahead. How boring is that? Okay. If you say so. I mean, it's not like, looking for my ottoman. It's not like, I mean, I don't know anywhere where the weather is like predictable necessarily, but you know, just being able to, like, when it's warm, it pretty much being warm. But you know what, with the global warming and all that stuff, I don't know that we like are ever gonna have. Did I freeze again? I don't know that we are ever gonna have an actual predictable schedule like that ever again, to be honest. Yes, I agree that Bananarama did have some catchy tunes, not gonna lie. Good Friday is a bank holiday, but you get post. Oh, is that why it's weird? I can't help, I don't know what's going on with the picture freezing. I mean, everything else is, you know, where it is for me. But yeah, I saw that. I'm not sure what to do with that, y'all. Sorry. I'm sorry about it. I don't know what's happening. You started shaving at 11. Oh, at age 11. Oops. Age 11. I guess that's about right. I don't know for men, obviously, because I'm not a man. I've never had to shave my face, so I don't know. Is that normal? Is 11 like an average age? Or I guess not, because Marge is like preteen wolf, so maybe not. Hello, Roy. Thanks for being here. Never need to apologize if y'all are late or you missed something. I mean, I love having you here and love having these chats, but if you got stuff going on, you got stuff going on. Life Life is more important, definitely. But I hope you're enjoying your visit. John Lilburn is here. Hello, John. Glad to have you. Thank you for being here. Lilburn says, back in the mid 1980s, I was bored with music being output and switched to jazz. Ooh, jazz. Nice. Mainly fusion world music. Nice. You asked the question about music. I'm curious, what kind of music do you like? Is there anyone you can recommend? Jazz is good. Here's the thing about jazz, though. For me, I have a love-hate with jazz. Sometimes I do feel like it can be a tad annoying, but then sometimes I'm right there in it and I'm feeling it like I'm in flow. So I don't know if it's like a mood thing for me or if it's just sometimes it's just annoying. Sometimes I feel like the riffs and stuff that they do, while impressive as hell, can be a little overwhelming for me. Maybe that's what it is. Richard said my voice broke at 10 as well. I feel like that's young. Stephen Kelly is here. Hello, Stephen. Thank you for being here. I'm only in for a minute before the second half of the football. Oh, how dare you put football above us? What are you, British? Nah, that's cool. No worries. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the picture. I'm going to just keep going, guys. And if you miss anything or you have a question I need to repeat or anything like that, just let me know. Ewan asks, what did you think about Britain in summer? There's daylight at 10 and in the winter it's dark at 4. Yeah. Being a summer person, the British winters are hard. But I do enjoy the really long summer days. It's an adjustment. I mean, I have to say that being here for 3 years, I'm still adjusting to it, to be honest with you. And this winter was brutal. It wasn't brutal because I've had brutal winters, really brutal winters. It was brutal for some of you up in Scotland and stuff. It was really brutal. It was a tough one. It was dark and gray and chilly for a long time this winter. And I got deceived by like a week of spring weather. I'm still adjusting. I'm used to there being a lot more sun even in winter, even though it might be cold and everything. Where I'm from in the US, it's just there's a lot more sun in general during that timeline. It's not as gray and cloudy. So that's something I'm still adjusting to. But I definitely love the really long summer days. I'll tell you that. That I can get behind. If I could do that all year round, that'd be great. But it doesn't happen that way, does it? Disco says his voice broke at the same age. Ewan says they like a lot of classic rock from the 70s and 80s. 80s not so much for me, but I'd love 60s and 70s classic rock, doo-wop, that kind of stuff. That's awesome. Love it. The Motown. But there's some songs from the 80s that I really like, but I think some of it's a little too, I don't know. Maybe it's just the American version of a lot of it, but it's just, I don't know. Not my favorite era, but I did like the 90s and the 2000s as well. So I'm with you with the classic rock from the 70s, though, definitely. In my eyes, that is like the best music era because it was like the era of music where it was really innovative. Everybody was doing a lot of different stuff and experimenting with music, with instruments and, other things. And it also just was like there's so much coming out and all of it was so different and unique. And it was before computers were really heavily involved in creating music and songs, and production wasn't as reliant on computers. It was more, on the musicians and the singers. So I don't know, for me, that is just one of the golden ages of music, in my opinion. I think that's why I enjoy it so much. Hello, Corinne. Thank you so much for being here. Glad to have you back. Marja says, I like Dusty Springfield. I like Dusty Springfield. Richard said it was an early bloomer, 3 years earlier than the rest. I see. Little Dino Boy is here. Thanks for being here. It's been a while since we've seen you. Glad to have you back, though. Tell me if you have any questions, guys. Make sure you put it in the chat. Richard says, find Shirley Bassey history repeating. I can't play songs because they get copyrighted. Okay, I found it, Richard, and I will play it offline for myself. Just because I get copyrighted, and then I gotta clip it out, or it's a whole big thing. Disco says, "Sun, Mandy, what sun in Britain is there any here?" Every time I say it's the land of no sun, I get lots of comments telling me we get sun here. So I'm told. Every once in a while, I do see glimpses of it. Glenn says, I found this winter hard, Mandy. I grew up in Manchester. Yeah, this winter was tough. We didn't have, I'm in the southeast in Kent. We didn't have it nearly as bad as a lot of people did. So I'm grateful for that. And even people in America had tons of snow and ice and everything. I'm happy to not have any of that. So that's why I said it wasn't a brutal winter, because I didn't have to deal with any ice or snow, really. So in my eyes, that's a good day. Pet Shop Boys, they're good. I actually just heard You Were Always on My Mind the other day. Erasure. What's Erasure? That one I don't know. Well, they look interesting. 80s band duo. Oh, okay. I'll check them out too. Thank you for that, Marja. Lilburn says avant-garde can be difficult, but then Evening Land by Jan Garbarek and Marie Boyne. Don't expect a lyric translation because the singing is semi-joke, just mostly vocal sound to express time and space. I'm completely lost with that comment, John. I'm going to take a picture of that comment. Oh, I almost dropped it in my freaking cup. I think I've frozen again. I don't know what's happening, y'all. Soul to Soul. It's an oldie. Wow. The Beast from the East. Yes, we did a video. We did a react to that once. The Beast from the East. That was rough. Ewan says Deep Purple, love it. Iron Maiden, but then you end up with The Who. You finish strong. Love it. Manny's here. Hello, Manny. Glad to have you. What's up? Richard said, I liked punk. It annoyed my brother. Roy Cousin says, I was a rock drummer in the 80s. Ooh, should we look it up? Marja asks, have you heard the remix of Public Enemy and Led Zeppelin? No. Interesting. All right. I have to do it. What can I say? All right, we're going to go back to the Shirley Bassett because that was the first one I suggested. Let's see if I can find something short.
Which recommended 8 years running. AJ Bell, feel good investing.
On Booking.com, it's easy to go from home to holiday home.
Hello there. Recent developments of jockeys and the aging. Tonight you may juggle heads who together.
Let's see. Erasure. I'm only going to play a little bit of all of these, you guys, because it sounds interesting. Could get behind that. Okay, Public Enemy and Led Zeppelin remix. I have to admit, like Public Enemy, I'm not a huge Led Zeppelin fan. Just putting it out there. This is a big one.
The rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm lowering my level. The hard drama, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling? You know it's time again. D, the enemy, telling you to hear it. They praise the music, it's time to play the lyrics. Some say no to the album.
I have such a respect for people who can do this kind of thing. I think it's awesome. I was sort of dating someone at one point, and they were a DJ and they were trying to show me how to spin, and I couldn't do it. Kept messing. He's like, stop doing it! You're messing up my shit.
You guess I'm just a radical, not on sabbatical, yes, to make it critical. The only part of your body should be partying too. Had the power on the hour from the rebel in you.
Hey, yo, Chuck, man, I don't understand this, man. Yo, you got this mother out, man. You losing them.
Radio, suckers never play me. All the mix, they just so crazy now, knowing and grown. When they're clocking my zone, there's no.
It's pretty cool. I like it. I'm open. I'm a huge music fan, so if you're doing anything interesting, innovative, different, I'll at least give it a shot. Shall we see if we can find Roy Cousins? I don't even know if that's your real name. I need more information, I think. You're going to have to give me some more information, Roy. Gotta make sure it's you. Falco! Corinne says, for me, it's definitely a case of how many genres of music are there. There's like millions, aren't there? There's so many different. And the thing is there's music is beautiful. It's such a beautiful art form. And it's so unique because you can literally create new instruments to create new sounds. You can create sounds with just your voice, even. And like the sky is the limit, man. Even though there's only like what, even on a guitar, there's only what, like 12 chords or something like that, right? But you can still make every single song different and interesting, even using the same chords over and over again. It's really, really a amazing art form. And it's beautiful. You can do whatever you want. Not everybody's gonna like it, but that's art, right? In a nutshell. Disco says, I'm eclectic. I go from classical to punk. I'm with you. If it's good and interesting, Disco, I'm with you. I mean, I'll listen to just about anything if it's compelling and, you know, thought provoking. My partner recently turned me on to Ren, who's a British guy who's kind of a rap guy. He writes his own stuff and he sings and is poetic and really, really, really interesting stuff. Some of it's a little dark, but it's really interesting. I like it a lot. Fat Boy Slim and the Who. I don't know if I heard this. I might have heard this one. I found the Rolling Stones. I don't see a Who remix. I don't see a Who remix. If you mean the Rolling Stones, maybe, Richard. Boney M. Rasputin. Isn't Ra Ra Rasputin? What? Who sang that? Was that ABBA? I remember that song. Quadrophenia. Oh, yeah. Amazing. No problem, Manny. Go eat your dinner. By all means. John Martin. I'm not answering any questions now. See, you guys take me on tangents. Do you have a specific let's try this one. This is another thing about the 70s is that whole like acoustic folky kind of sound as well. I always forget about that, but it's such a strong, powerful music influence of the decade. I like it. I could get down with that too. I'm sorry, I didn't share that with you guys. My bad. I'm getting excited. Corinne says, my big thing was a style of music called two-tone back in the late 70s, early 80s. Two-tone back. Two-tone back in the 70s. British music genre and subculture from the late 70s, early 80s that fused Jamaican ska, reggae, and rocksteady with punk rock energy. Ooh, that sounds fun. If you have a specific song or something, I'd be interested in hearing that. There was an album, Decks and Drums and Rock and Roll.
Where I talk about electronic music, both new and old. Context as the Atlantic, they weren't
I
even
was just
close.
talking about it. Damn it. My bad. Old school scratching and mixing. There you go, Disco. Screeze. Is that a band? Exactly, Disco. I like that was the 70s, the late 70s was the last time really. I mean, disco was kind of the feed into the electronic music genre, isn't it? So I don't know what Screeze is. It's not coming up. Found a song called Stone Cold Dead in the Marketplace from 1946. Marcia says, I got a cousin called Rory, truthfully. You won't find me, but there's a reggae singer with the same name. Marcia says, music is like a snowflake. Each one is different. You got it there, girl. And Ewan says, music is the universal language by far. You got it. It is the Rolling Stones one. Okay. This is it. This one. Sorry, pulled the wrong one. Not bad. You guys, we're getting overwhelmed with the music. I'm not answering any questions. Boney M did Rasputin. I thought it was somebody else for some reason, but maybe you're probably right. John Martin developed the 2 guitar strand. That's cool. Yeah, he was good. Definitely gonna listen to more of him. Thank you guys for all these suggestions, by the way. I will have a music day tomorrow. I have lots of music playing in the background. Richard said my brother was into prog rock. I don't know what that is. Played it loud when our parents were out. It was so loud we got complaints from 3 streets away. Squeeze was a group that did a song called Call for Cats and Up the Junction. The hell is that? Marja says philosophy. Mandy, what are you saying? I don't have any philosophy. What are you saying? I have no idea what you're saying. See, here's my thing about music, right? Is that if you do something well and you take care of it, or you take care of your instrument, whatever your instrument is, don't get cross on me. If you take care of it, then you can use it for a really long time. Like that's why there's so many people who are really good singers, or bands that are really good. They're still in their like 60s and 70s, just rocking it, dude. I love it. Questions, comments, queries, concerns? Anyone? No? Today was supposed to be about questions, but ended up being about music. That's what you all do, though. You just take over like it's your stream. Which it really is, let's be honest. Someone from my comment section said, Just Print said, I was speaking to some completely, like we're just going to a new topic just randomly. I was speaking to someone from the States in a comment section on a similar video in the past. The topic was paid holiday from work. I get between 6 to 8 weeks per year in the UK. American chap replied, what on earth would you do with all that time? I'd be bored. The longest I've ever had off is 3 weeks, and that was for a big family vacation. Usually I take 1 week a year. My reply was simply, have a life. See, you wouldn't get bored. The same argument is used for people who are like, oh, if I had all the money in the world, I'd still work. No, you wouldn't. And you wouldn't get bored either, because you would find something to do. I'm not saying that like it would be something different than what you do now. You'd have, you'd try to create a business, or you would try to participate in charity, or you would travel. You'd always find something to do. Imagine having all the time and all the money in the world, all the resources in the world. What would you really do with your life? You always figure something out. When you're bored, that's when your mind gets to actually think, and you get to actually innovate and design your life. But you can't do that when you're constantly bombarded and you don't ever have time to actually rest and recharge. And that's the deal with the United States, is when you work in the United States, you don't get that time to really rest and recharge. You're almost always working 24 hours a day. So it's hard to imagine a life without all that. It's hard to imagine having any kind of real time off or any kind of real R&R. It's a sad existence, really. Propaganda Dr. Mabus. These are some weird names as well. Cool for cats. Marsha asks, where would you go on holiday for 1 day just to experience it? It's a tough one because I want to go everywhere and experience everything. But if I only had 1 day and I got to go anywhere in the world just to experience it, it would probably be the Northern Lights, like in Scandinavia. I would think that that's probably what it would be, because that's something I really, really want to do. Or like seeing penguins in like Antarctica or in the Arctic somewhere. That would be really cool as well, because it would only be for 1 day. Anything longer than a day, I don't think I could stand the cold. I have to start, like, I crossed my bucket list off. I got to go to Greece, and I would go back to Greece in a second, by the way. But that was the place I never thought I'd be able to go. So I have to kind of figure out, I have to kind of reprioritize everywhere else I want to go. Taking anything in the Middle East off the table at the moment, at least. Disco says, I never get bored. I have too much to do and too many interests. Exactly. There's always something new to explore. There's always someone new to meet and have a conversation with. There's always, a skill to learn. There's always something to do. You can never, if you're like boredom. I was watching a video once where it was talking about the psychology of like technology and stuff, right? And how it like basically you don't get time to be bored because you're constantly stimulated, because we're constantly on our devices and have stuff going on in the background. And what it was saying was it's actually taking away creativity from human beings, because you need that timeline of boredom in order to become creative, in order for your imagination to flow, and in order for all that to kind of, that part of your brain to be active. And when you're constantly stimulated, you're just constantly regurgitating all of the stuff that you're hearing, either consciously, subconsciously, in the background, whatever it is. So you don't really ever get a chance to to exercise that portion of your brain of imagination and stuff. So you actually need some boredom in your life. You just, because then you start thinking, like when I get bored, I'm like, oh, I could paint this room red, or, you know, I start thinking really, really creatively, or I start being like, oh, I kind of want to sing, so I'll just get up and sing, or something like that. So, or let's go explore this new beach, Dungeness, that I've not been to yet. You can always find something to do. You always find, and all of that stimulates your creativity and your thought, you know, your thought provoking and critical thinking and stuff. And we really are lacking that as a society in the world because of all of the distractions we have now in our modern lives. Marcia says, sorry, I got deep thoughts whilst I'm in the moment. This is gonna be a thing now, isn't it? You guys are just gonna do it just to hear me, just to see me laugh at it, aren't you? Richard says, I'm dangerous when I'm bored. Yeah, my partner never wants me bored because I always want to like rearrange the furniture and stuff. Dr. Mabuse is a German name pronounced Mabusa, like Medusa, but with a B. Marcia says Greece is beautiful and fantastic. Yeah, I really liked, I liked the islands. I wasn't a huge fan of Athens, other than obviously the historical stuff's brilliant, but Athens itself as a city is really disappointing. I know, like, they have no money. I understand that their economy's crap and tourism is basically all they have. It's really sad, though, because it looks like it could be a really cool, vibrant city if it had the resources. But I mean, I loved the islands, and I loved, you know, swimming in the sea and all that stuff. It was wonderful. I loved it. Disco says, go to the Greek island of Zante, Zakynthos, where the turtles breed on the beach and you can swim next to them. That would be kind of fun. I don't know if I want to be like on the beach while they're breeding. That sounds kind of gross, but I really want to do as much traveling as possible. You know, I'm in my late 40s now. I'm going to be 48 this year. And I know I probably got like, maybe 15 years left of good travel years. And before it starts becoming, you know, difficult. So I just want to see everything and do everything. I just need the money to do it. So send me money. I'm just kidding. They're not actually breeding. They just lay eggs. I got you. I was just trying to be funny and make a joke, but clearly it didn't land. Celtic Paradise says, where I live in Scotland, we don't even lock our doors. People go away on holiday for weeks and their door is unlocked. What? That's kind of crazy. You don't hide your valuables, etc. It's just how it is. Now, to some, this might feel crazy. Obviously, I do. So you understand anyone that has ever tried to rob a house here would readily find themselves arrested. Everyone is watching out for everybody else. And there's only one road in and out. Well, that's probably part of it. I go months not even taking the keys out of my car. And neighbors always making food. And if you have too much, they're bringing you dinner. Sometimes leaving it in your kitchen for you, so you never see them come home and dinner is just there for you. I know this is not the case in all places, but in Scotland and the Highlands and other places, it's common, and I love it. That is an excellent comment. And being in the Highlands, yeah, you definitely, I would think that it's so hard just to get anywhere in the Highlands that I would think that it would only be people who actually want to be around or want to help you and that kind of stuff. It does seem like a place that you would not have a lot of crime. That's amazing, though. I couldn't imagine living in a culture like that. Not just like the remoteness of it, because I can't imagine living in the remoteness of it, but in a completely different aspect of like not having to worry about locking your door and neighbors just dropping off food without you even knowing. That's like the thought of it is really alien to me. Liz Jolly says, do you think the culture of leaving and starting again is why therapy is such a big thing in the US? I think we Brits get a lot of informal therapy from our family and friends, and tea and pubs, definitely. I think the reason that therapy is a big thing in the US is because it's kind of a band-aid on a lot of societal problems that people have. The United States is such an individualistic culture that everything is down to you to solve. So if you're like disenfranchised with the system, it's implied that there's something wrong with you, not the system. So you internalize it because you are bred and raised and groomed in America to think that you're always the problem. So I think therapy is big in the US because we always assume we're the problem. And because it is extremely difficult to live in the United States right now. There's, always the threat of violence underlying. There's always underlying tension regarding politics. There's always underlying tension regarding your job, worrying about losing your job, worrying about getting sick. Like there's always all of this stress of life on top of all the normal life stresses. And it's really difficult. I think that's probably why. In my opinion, though. Dr. Mavis was the first great movie villain starring in silent movies. Really? That's interesting. Manny's back, in case anyone was nervous. Just kidding. Marcia asks, are you going to watch Artemis blast off if all is good with the sun flares? I actually didn't even know it was blasting off, so I'll have to see. When is it blasting off, Marcia? NASA prepares for Artemis 2 moon mission launch. As of Tuesday, March 31st, today, the launch time currently is scheduled for no earlier than 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time on April 1st. So that's tomorrow. So that would be 11:24-ish p.m. tomorrow. Let me write it down on my little calendar. Because it would be cool to see, actually. Thanks for that, Marcia. That would be cool to see. I didn't even know it's happening. It's not in the news for some reason, or at least not in the news that I've been able to find. But I would like to watch it. Are you going to watch it? Disco says that's how it was in the 70s. You sent me a lot of videos, Disco. I'm getting through them. I am. So the launch, according to as of now, is at 6:24 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. That's as of 4 hours ago. So remember, we're 5 hours ahead Eastern time. Falco says, when I was in hospital, I was in the bed next to the chap who was the guitarist for Lord Such. Don't know Lord Such. But that's cool. The moon has so much underground water reserves. Does it? I didn't know that. It's an interesting fact. Disco says, I loved your blog this morning regarding family whilst in pub culture. I know you wrote that just to have me say that word. We were watching something on TV the other day and I had to pause it so that I could laugh, and everyone was getting mad at me. But I don't care. It's hilarious. The word whilst, it's just hilarious. Thank you for the compliment, Disco. Marsha asks, is the pub your best outdoor activity in the UK? Actually, no. I don't actually go to the pub that much. I just really like the idea of it. I just really like the idea of having something communal to go to that's local and that you can bring your family to. That is family, it's just family friendly. We just don't have anything like that in America. Everything is so like contrived and regulated to like down to the T, and it's really, really, it's not, I don't want to say it's frustrating, but it's just like it's fragmented. It's very not fragmented, segregated. Like this is what we do with kids, with young kids. This is what we do with like preteens. This is what you go and do with teenagers. This is what you do with adults and friends. This is what you do when you're elderly. Like it's very just like set out for you instead of just like all coming together in a community. It's just very strange to be in an environment that you can, everybody can be in the same vicinity and act responsibly, and it not be the pub owner's responsibility to make sure everybody's okay, or it's just a very interesting concept to me. Plus you have all of the history, right? All of the pubs that have been around forever. Some of them haven't been around forever, but a lot of them have been around for a long time, and most of them have some kind of local story that's unique and different, and it makes them all very special. That's all. I'm just really in love with that whole idea. I think it's very indicative of British culture, and I think it's a really good way to differentiate American culture versus British culture. I think it's very representative of British culture, and I think American bars are very representative of American culture because it's all about letting loose because you're stressed. It's all about getting wasted and wasting money, or the business making money and protecting itself, and not about any community, not about forming any kind of experience or environment. And there's very little history. It's all about, we'll just knock it down and build something else to make more money if this particular thing stops making money. And pubs are just, they outlast. It's very interesting to me. That's all. John Lilburn says, we were going to go to a local pub for lunch today as pulled into parking. I said parking lot because I was translating in my head. Pulled into the car park, noticed loads of kids, forget it was a holiday, so drove 10 miles to a place we knew there wouldn't be any, and then went antiquing. Hmm. Fair enough. If you're not into it, you're not into it, right? Matthew Bishop, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for being here with us, Matthew. Glad to have you. Richard said, I took a bus to see a friend today and no one else was on the bus. Well, that's unusual. Marcia says, Ewan McGregor went back to Scotland, saw Aurora Borealis, and went to the pub with his brother he hadn't seen in 3 years and his childhood friend. That is, there's a YouTube video on it. That is cool. We went to a birthday party over the weekend, family, friends, and it was in a pub. And it was like there's like 4 generations of people there. And my partner went in, and it was in the town he grew up in, and he ran into like, I don't know, a dozen people that he hadn't seen since school. They were all hanging out in the pub, and it was like a time warp, and it was really crazy. But everywhere he went, he was like, "Oh my God, this is so and so from school," or "This is we used to play football together," or whatever. It was really crazy. And like I said, there's moments of that in America, but they're all like contrived and manufactured. There's nothing like just natural and organic about it. And I guess there are in some areas, but it's just very, very few and far between. He lives in the center of town, so parking is bad. Yeah, if you live in the center of town, and you definitely want to take a bus or something, not drive if you don't have to. Train Spotting. Oh my gosh, that's such an old one. Is that 30 years old? Lord, we're showing our age, guys. David Bolton says, how is it as Brits we understand any form of English spoken to us, yet Americans don't? I do feel Americans, not so much Canadians or Australians, even South Africans, are arrogant about speaking the English language. They don't seem to want to understand other English-speaking countries. It's American English or nothing. Huh. That's in response to one of my shorts about the same language feeling foreign. Well, I've met Canadians, I've met Australians, and I've met South Africans, and I've had similar issues understanding them. Again, not because necessarily of the fact that even their accents, again, it's about inflection, it's about certain words meaning something else, where they're from. It's a little bit the accent, of course. I don't think that I think that comment was a little bit unnecessarily aggressive, but I don't know that you want to talk about Americans being arrogant about the English language, because I've seen many British people turn up the obnoxious meter as soon as they hear someone with an accent. So I'm just saying, even if they are speaking English, I think a lot of, all right, I'm just going to say it. I think a lot of British people think that because they invented the language, obviously, and spread it, that their English is the only English. And I think that it gets lost sometimes that British people, I think, English-speaking British people, tend to assume you have to know what they mean because you speak the same language. but don't want to give you any grace back. And I think that is very arrogant in itself to use your comment back at you. Appreciate the comment. I don't know that you fully understood what I was trying to say in that video though, but that's my fault because I have to communicate it better. So I'll just have to do another video to try to communicate it even more clearly. Erica Thompson says, yes, I also have cut out family members. Oh, this is in response to cutting toxic people when I moved abroad. I have also cut out family members and I have been cut out by others. And you know what? After the soul searching, sleepless nights, wondering what if, I am good with it now. I am at peace. This is where I am with a smaller, more selective family. You will also reach that place of peace sooner or later when you've finished grieving for the loss. Well, thank you for that, Erica. I do hope so. I do hope so. It is a tough thing. It's a tough. The thing is about moving abroad. A lot of people don't understand, and I'm not. I think this is true wherever you move. If you are, moving away from what you're used to in any capacity, there's so much stuff that you. I don't know how to put it. When you leave your home, people don't leave their home if they're comfortable or they're happy. Even if it's for, a somewhat benign reason, like a better opportunity for a job or education, that still means there's something lacking in your home. And I don't think a lot of people fully understand that. Whether you intentionally move, whether you quote unquote do it correctly, which I don't even agree with, whether you're a refugee, whether, whatever you're doing, even if you're just moving from one town to another, you're not going to leave if your needs are met and if you're comfortable and happy. And there's it's such a misnomer that is put on so many people that leave, especially those who move to other countries, that they're trying to take away something from the country rather than just, trying to find something. And I think that and in doing that, we lose so much by making that choice because we literally have to start over. And some people have to start over with language barriers and even more, difficult circumstances than I did. So, and you lose so much when you lose people, you leave people behind, people don't want to be a part of your life anymore. And then you have new people that are fighting you for your new life. It's really difficult and lonely. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate, how nuanced and how hard it really is. And I have it on a fairly, easy level and I struggle. Richard says, my late wife thought train spotting was about train spotters. Should try plane spotting. Disco says, I knew a train spotter is just as bad as someone I knew. To photos of clouds, to each their own. Richard said, my late Australian wife had trouble with UK accents. I mean, yeah, it's not easy. I had struggled with Australian accent, so. Margie said, who's being obnoxious? Let me out. Thank you for that. Disco says, it works both ways. We have enough trouble with accents and lingo from people within Britain, especially Geordies. Exactly. There's a lot of people in the UK, in each individual country, territory, Commonwealth country, that you're still British or you're still English even, right? If you just pick out England for conversational purposes, you're still English no matter where in England you're from, but everybody, each county has its own accent and each lingo and might not understand one from the other. So many people from where, from the Kent area, talk about, northern people and how they don't understand anybody needing a passport to go there, like as a joke, obviously, but it's based in some kind of truth. So if it's within your own country, and of course, me being American, we have all kinds of, diversity and differences we have to overcome in regions and languages and accents and customs and religions and everything, which is true to most developed countries in the world now. So why are you saying that, like, why are you picking apart the fact that I'm just commenting on, something I individually am struggling with? I'm not making a huge general I guess I kind of am making a general representation, but I don't know. At least spell Jordy's right. Yeah, come on, Disco. You're better than that. John Loburn said, try those on Chaucer or Shakespeare and see if they know their English. Yeah, let's go with that. Very good. Thank you for that, John. They only have one accent in Australia. I don't know. I was only in one area of Australia, so I don't know if they have more than one accent, to be honest with you. But I did struggle. Okay. That's it. That's going to do it for me, y'all, on this episode of The Next Show Will Be Better. Thank you guys so much for taking time out to join me tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed it, as always. Thank you for all the music suggestions. Appreciate it. And thank you for all the questions and comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Be sure to leave some comments in the replay and upload. It keeps the algorithm gods really happy with our channel, and let me know what you guys want to talk about next week, or what you want to do, if you want to do anything specific next week. Also, be sure to smash that like button on your way out if you haven't already, and consider becoming a member of the Mandyverse Collective. Support our channel and help us raise funds for the Royal British Legion. We'd love to have you. Thank you for your support in any capacity and however you give it to us. Couldn't do this without you. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe and keep showing up, because, life only gets better when you're there. Love y'all. Bye.